What is up, everybody? Welcome in. DFSarmy MLB pre-lock show Friday. First full day back from the All-Star break. We had a single game last night. A very profitable single game for me, thanks to Francisco Alvarez at captain.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
But we have a 14-game slate for us this evening. The two teams that played last night do not play tonight. Boston and Tampa Bay playing a doubleheader. Game one's going on right now. It is a split doubleheader, so we have no worries about first pitch start time for game two. Joined by Tattoo. Tattoo, how'd you enjoy your All-Star break?
It was actually really nice. I think I was still kind of invested the first 2 days, with the home run derby and the All-Star game dud. And then I just really relaxed the last 2 days and try not to really do or think about anything.
Yeah, Friday could just kind of crept up. All of a sudden, it was here. It was a good break. It just didn't feel like much of a break.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I spent Wednesday putting together this week and next week's schedule for us. Then I spent yesterday working on last night's game and doing best ball drafts, mid-season best ball. So, I don't know. Really, it was just 2 days off, and those 2 days were spent at a bowl diamond for my daughter for multiple games. So, yeah, just feels like another week, I guess, at this point. But like I mentioned, there is 14 games to deal with this evening. We are recording this and going live a little earlier than normal. I have some personal stuff going on that I have to get out of here in an hour approximately. So wanted to be able to bring you guys something because I couldn't guarantee that people were going to be available to do it at normal time. But I know I've spent last night and early this morning looking through the slate quite a bit. So I know where I'm standing. I know Tattoo still has to work on his notes yet on the site. So we do get a real first look out of Tattoo. What is your first look thoughts just overall on this slate tonight?
And by first look, I truly mean first look. Well, like we mentioned before, sorry, I've covered my mouth. Chris Sale seems to be the obvious chalk. Don't know about DK. I assume it's similar.
It is.
Man, I hadn't even looked at this website in days. That's crazy. Forgive me for one moment. I gotta log in. But it looks like pitching is, I don't know, maybe nothing special. Looks like if I recall, Chris Sale didn't have the greatest timeout last time. Got a lot of good hitting weather. We got, to deal with a Coors and AAA ballpark with the home run hitting Nationals in town. That seems juicy. You got
wind blowing out in Wrigley.
Yeah, and you hadn't even got there. Yeah.
Wrigley has the second highest total on the slate.
Milwaukee and the Angels are popping too for some, the wind blowing out to left.
Well, I assume Milwaukee will have the roof closed because of the wildfire smoke in Wisconsin.
It's here too.
Not good.
I walked outside and I was like, Is my house on fire? I hadn't even heard about the California. This is how disconnected I've been. Like I didn't know anything about any California wildfire. I had to like call my sister. I was like,
You mean
"Why is
Canada?
huh?
You mean Canada, not
Yeah.
California?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, both of them are always on fire.
Well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, the air here in Wisconsin is very miserable, like pretty bad. I know Milwaukee area is the worst they've ever had. Um, so they have that going on. So Milwaukee for sure is going to be closed. Um, LA, the problem with wind is like late night games on the West Coast. They just deal with that marine layer that really negates some of that wind. But like Troy Melton's popping from a projection standpoint as the opposing pitcher. He has the third highest raw point projection on DK as of right now, taking on the Angels. Um, Obviously, you mentioned Sale. I wanted to point out the fact that Bryce Miller has a stronger projection and is nearly a third of the ownership of Chris Sale right now.
Yeah.
So I like Bryce Miller quite a bit. I mean, I like Sale too. There are 5 pitchers that I really like. Another 1 or 2 that I like a decent amount. So it's just not a slate full of typical slam dunk spots, I don't think. But we do have plenty of upside because we have Reed Detmers, we have Gavin Williams, Sale, Bryce Miller, Troy Melton. Jared Jones is somebody that I'm starting to like a lot.
What about Gage jump tonight?
I just don't like the way that he's looked recently when pitching at home, and that's where he's at. I mean, I generally like Gage jump. I'm actually going to the other side in that game, and I'm going to play some Cade Cavalli over Gage jump just because, the A's are without Nick Kurtz too. So
yeah, and they kind of were.
I just think he fits the game better. Yeah. You could even, I'm not doing it, but you could talk me into playing Garrett Cole if you thought that you could see a vintage Garrett Cole start, even though it's against the Dodgers. Because anytime, I think we said this when he first came back, like he's 7,600. This is Garrett Cole at 7,600. Like he's just priced incorrectly for, who he is. I'm not getting there because I just don't feel like picking on the Dodgers in Yankee Stadium. But, if there's any time for Garrett Cole to kind of nut up and show back up, I think it could be tonight.
Would you pick on the Yankees in Yankee Stadium with Saka?
No, I am not picking on the Yankees with Roki Sasaki. We had been picking on the Yankees for a while, right? They were striking out an absolute ton. Well, they finished like the first half just hitting a bunch of home runs. So they've kind of gotten hot. Now, obviously, the break can kind of take some of that away too. That's the one thing that's really tough to judge.
Yeah,
we're gonna get guys coming in refreshed because they got the break, and then we're gonna get guys that were rolling that might come out of the break a little slower. Just because, like, when you're hot, you don't want days off.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough trying to pinpoint who those guys are. But generally I like veterans that were kind of slumping into the break to kind of come out hotter in the second half because they get that rest, that reset. I don't really like young guys who were on fire going into the break, just because it's so tough to, even yourself out. So when it comes to pitching, I don't really think we have much to worry about from coming down or getting better after break. Chris Sale's probably the guy I think that benefits the most from having the break.
Yeah.
I think 7 days off or 6 days off and pitching on the 7th day after his last one. I think that benefits somebody like Sale since he's, a veteran with so many innings on him. I think the break kind of helps Bryce Miller just because he's somebody that we've seen them limit somewhat. The problem is like his between start breaks are almost similar to what he's getting. He got an extra day, but they've really been pushing him at 5, 6, and 7 days rest already. So it's kind of more of a typical start for Bryce Miller. Most of the other guys are just whatever. Maybe Garrett Cole gets help, coming back from his Tommy John and gets that little extra break, and maybe that helps him tonight. But there isn't a whole lot to see outside of those for me, when I was looking at last start and all that information. Is there any off-the-wall guys that you're considering?
Interestingly enough, I was wondering, I have this memory in my head that Sandy looked good last time he pitched, or last couple of times he pitched. But, I mean, I am not really looking to pick on Milwaukee. I was thinking maybe Michael King. Or, McGreevy. But that, I haven't dove in enough, right now.
Yeah, I debated. What was that?
Jarrett Jones.
Yeah, Jarrett Jones is one of my favorite pitchers tonight, even though it's pretty widely known that they're basically going to keep him in the 75 to 80 pitch range. They didn't let him go above that through 6 perfect innings last time out. So it would make zero sense that they'd suddenly jump him up 15 pitches after that. I feel like Jarrett Jones is in a very interesting spot, but he's somewhat capped upside-wise, but I am going to play him. Alcantara is somebody I only want to really play when he's at home, but his last 2 starts have been really good. He has struggles on the road, and I just think Milwaukee at home versus right-handed pitching is just one of those matchups that we don't really want to pick on unless it's some dominant right-handed pitcher. Michael King was somebody I thought I would be on right away, and then you just look and he just does not show any K upside right now. I don't think he struck out more than 5 batters in a start in 2 months now. And that's just kind of a big issue. In today's baseball, guys are just going to give up hits and base runners. So we need, especially on DK, we need the strikeouts to counteract that. And he's just not getting them. I did think about using Mason Englert because he looked absolutely phenomenal in his last start, which was nearly 2 weeks ago. I just didn't look up what he did going back down to the minors or what's been going on, because I think it was July 5th that he did that. But in all honesty, I just didn't feel like I needed to force that option in, so I ended up passing on Englert a bit. I am using Dean Kramer, Peter Lambert in that same game. Dean Kramer worries the hell out of me. He's given up 9 home runs in 22 innings already. But I think there's some upside. The problem is he gets destroyed by left-handed bats so far this season. And Jordan is standing in that other lineup. But that lineup is fairly right-hand heavy. So if you can figure out Jordan, I think there's a route for him to put up numbers. Same thing on the other side with Lambert. He's been so extreme reverse splits that I feel like it's probably a good matchup for him, depending on what Baltimore runs out there for a lineup, and as long as he can avoid Ward and Pete Alonso. Specifically Alonso, really, for me, because of the Crawford boxes. But that's just a game that feels like we could see 14 runs or we could see 5, and it ends up like the lowest scoring game on the slate.
Now,
as an Orioles fan, do you have a feeling either way?
Well, as an Orioles fan, it's negative always. But My expectations are very low with Baltimore right now. Offensively, I have sometimes more trust in their pitching than their hitting. Is Gabriel Hughes a starter, an
He is a
opener, or
starter.
a starter?
He's a regular starter now.
Interesting.
He had a regular start his last time out. So, not that I have any interest in Hughes, I don't think. I mean, we know the Reds strike out the most per game in baseball.
Yeah.
But I feel like, strikeouts go down in Coors already. So, probably not somebody I need to rely on for a 14 gamer.
Yeah.
Would you consider somebody like Landon Rout since he's taking on the Mariners without Julio?
I would. I was just looking at the Carnage report. The ISO is concerning, but he's got a good K score. Now, who the hell is that?
The one thing that worried me with him is the fact that he's been kind of up on the road. A whip of nearly 1.5. Obviously, he's coming off a great start to close out the first half. But yeah, it's not. I don't feel great about him on the road, even though it is a good ballpark for pitching. So he's probably like the guy that the last man removed from my pool, basically, before making final decisions. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know. But I obviously like to limit my pool enough, even if I'm making 300 lineups.
What about Spencer Miles?
Did you say who? It broke up for a second there.
Spencer Miles.
I can't get there because he's basically been throwing like 50 pitches, 50 to 60. I don't think he's crossed the 70 pitch mark yet this season at the major league level, if I remember correctly from earlier when I was doing some stuff. So, like, if you told me that they finally get him into the 80s for pitch count, I think I'd consider him. But then again, on the 14-game slate, I just don't think I'd end up getting there.
Yeah.
But
his numbers just really
mind the idea. Yeah, he's throwing the ball really well. So, like, to see him not get extended out beyond, let me look because I don't want to misquote, but yeah, he hasn't been. Oh, he did go to 73 pitches a little over a month ago, but since that 73 pitch appearance, the highest he's gone is 55. So he just, I don't know, like are his numbers the product of him just being that good, or are they because they've treated him like perfectly in usage to where they don't extend him too much to have the worst version of him show up?
Yeah.
Like, so that's kind of a trade-off. He's been phenomenal when pitching at home. Whip of 082 and an average against a 164. Excuse me. Just been phenomenal when at home. But again, like, I don't know, maybe if we got word that they're finally going to lengthen him out and get to 75, 80, 85 pitches, then maybe we do have to consider him more than I initially would have thought.
Yeah. It's not on FanDuel slate. They just, unless I'm crazy, I don't believe. Tampa Bay is not on. Tampa Bay Boston is not on FanDuel at all.
Oh,
But
it's on DK.
Is Junior okay?
What's that?
Is Junior Caminero okay?
Yeah, he's in the first game.
Okay.
Tampa Bay's getting smoked in the first game. They're getting one hit by.
I was at it like a heart attack during
one hit by my boy Jake Bennett. So, let's see. Well, I think we've kind of exhausted pitching for the most part. Let's switch over to hitting, and we'll look at the leverage stacks tool. Since we have 14 games, 28 teams, you'd think pretty spread out, but there are a few teams at the top that are aggressively owned, and there are actually a bunch of teams, 9 of them to be exact, at sub 10%. Another 5 are sub 20%. So that means half of the teams on tonight's slate are going to be owned 19% or less from a total bat ownership perspective.
I can tell you at 109% ownership, Cincinnati will quickly be my fade.
In Coors?
In my single entry, at least.
I mean, being in Coors at 109%.
Up and down, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, they have the third highest implied run total. They're number 1 in average projected points. So
yeah.
I think when we can get a team in Coors with the upside of Cincinnati at 110%, I'm kind of interested. Only because, I want to assume that some of those guys got into Colorado even yesterday.
Yeah.
So, arriving earlier into Colorado probably helps. But, I mean, I can understand, deciding to go against them the whole first game in Coors thing.
I like Colorado more.
They're nearly double what Colorado is, who
Bradley Singer
is in a better spot. Picking on Brady Singer with left-handed bats. Even though it seems like the last few times I've been gung-ho about doing so, he just magically shoves it up my rear.
Wazoo!
But, yeah, I mean, I like Colorado quite a bit. I like the Cubs. I like the Twins. Twins in Wrigley with one blowing out sub 40%, or basically 40%.
Do you trust the Cubs to wake up offensively?
I mean, they've been so up and down, but they are pretty veteran laden. So, I feel like the All-Star break probably helps. Alex Bregman helps, Ian Happ, those kind of guys. And, I mean, let's be real. Bailey Ober last year gave up 175,000 home runs. So,
yeah.
I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but didn't lead baseball in home runs allowed, but it was pretty close. I think Zach Littell led it, or maybe I'm wrong and Ober did lead, but he gave up 30 home runs last year in 146 innings. So, a starting pitcher giving up a home run per 9 around 2 is I don't know. It's a lot of home runs to allow because 2 years ago he gave up 27. Year before that, 22. So he's just routinely giving up plenty of home runs. He's given up 13 so far. So I don't know that really it's picking on the guy that traditionally has given up home runs and the wind's blowing out.
Does on the other end of that, a guy who traditionally doesn't seem to give up many home runs and Gage Jump, does that take you off of Washington any?
He's given up home runs recently. he started out not giving up any home runs, and then now, I mean, last start he didn't give up any against the White Sox, but the 2 home starts right before that, he gave up 4 home runs in 7 2/3. Yeah, I just don't like his recent trends at home.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he only had one really good start at home, and that was against the Angels. Otherwise, like Seattle got him for 4 runs, Colorado got him for 3 runs in 5 innings, the Dodgers 5 runs in 4 2/3, Marlins 6 runs in 3 innings. So like Washington's probably a team we just have to roll with. I still like Minnesota more than them, despite Washington being high owned.
Yeah.
You know, I like Minnesota far more than Kansas City. I like Minnesota far more than St. Louis, more than San Diego. All teams that are higher owned. My number one team.
Go ahead.
My number one team is lower owned than Minnesota. Can you guess who that is?
Lower owned in Minnesota.
So Minnesota's right here at 40%.
Yeah. I mean, my brain wants to say Toronto, but then I was thinking Atlanta or the Yankees for.
The number one team for me is the New York Yankees. Who are at a combined 30% ownership as of right now, which to me seems criminal. So, like, I don't expect that to be the final number. But it's Roki Sasaki. It's Yankee Stadium. And the New York Yankees have 19 home runs in 11 July games so far. So, like, their offense has woken up from an upside standpoint. And while Ben Rice has 6 of the 19, nobody else has more than 2. So that means there's plenty of guys hitting home runs.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it just feels like, yeah, there's some Ks there. They've K'd 113 times in 11 games, but they're just hitting so many home runs that I'm gonna roll with the Yankees at home in that ballpark against somebody that we know just gets blown up.
Yeah.
So that one really surprises me. Their low implied run total really surprises me as well.
And they're affordable.
They are.
I'm sure Ben Rice is.
Rice isn't cheap, I don't think. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say he's probably the most expensive.
Yeah, he's $6K on DK.
Which really means the rest of them are.
Well, yeah, then you get Austin Wells, who's hitting home runs. He sucks. Is 2,100. Ryan McMahon's been all right. I don't know what mid 2Ks. Cody Bellinger isn't really as expensive as you'd think either. So, like in the lineup tonight, I think Jazz might be the second most expensive. If it's not Jazz, it's Cody, and then Jazz is right behind him.
How does Bellinger manage to still look stoned out of his skull as his permanent face, even with sunglasses? He just has.
Fish just locks it in on a daily basis. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen somebody look more stoned and like constantly in my life. On my other All-Star rant, Mike Trout should have been embarrassed to accept the start. I
thought he was going to homer in his first at bat. I really did.
I really thought he was going to strike out in his first at bat, and he did. I have a
weather update. In Cleveland, the air quality is hovering around 300, which, according to our weather guy Joey, is hazardous.
I was going to wonder if there would be any cancellations or anything, because like my sister said something about purple, and it's supposed to be you're not supposed to be outside for more than a few minutes at a time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pay attention to that. Like, I mean, if it's that hazardous in Cleveland, we're gonna have to watch and see what they do, especially because it's two pitchers that we're very interested in on this slate.
How far west is this spreading?
I mean, it's Minnesota's bad. I don't know how far past Minnesota it's gotten.
I was wondering about Colorado, which already, is so elevated.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, did he give a thought on Colorado? No, he didn't include it in his breakdown early this morning. So I assume they're going to be all right. By the looks of it, it's really sounds like it's upper Midwest to the upper, to the northeast of the country that are dealing with it. But yeah, definitely have to pay attention now. Wasn't overly interested in the offenses in that game anyways. So need to know what it's going to do for pitching too. Obviously the guys exerting themselves the most, air quality is probably going to matter the most for those guys. Who do you think you're going to end up as your number one team tonight? Obviously, you have time to change your mind, so it's not set in stone or anything. But who do you think you're leaning towards?
Colorado, honestly. Washington, and it may be my favorite in Minnesota.
Yeah, obviously wish Minnesota had Buxton, but we can survive. I hate the fact that Josh Bell and Royce Lewis are both first basemen. Just because Royce Lewis has been one of their hotter hitters.
And Josh at least Bell, on FanDuel you can play them both.
Right, you can play them both. DK, we don't get that option. DK tonight, I wish we had that option because I hate the catcher position. For when we go position by position, I think the position is horrendous tonight. So that's a problem for me. You already said Cincinnati's team that you might be looking to fade. Is there any other of the more popular teams that you're kind of considering or would consider fading?
Cubs and San Diego. It's just a trust issue, and I mean, we know baseball players fail more than they succeed.
Right.
Thinking that the break favors, favors pitchers, not that I think, I'm expecting a no-hitter throwing a Wrigley tonight, but I just don't trust. I mean, they could put up 23 like they did, 2 weeks ago or whatever. But I just don't trust them. Not saying if I was going to MMA, I would not be playing them. But yeah, Cincinnati, I'd have no trouble being under.
For me, it's San Diego for sure. Chalky San Diego just doesn't do it for me. They have the worst batter wOBA on the slate. Just haven't been doing very well. Their point per dollar rank is number one, which blows my mind. But I see I lost internet for a second. Yeah, I don't know where I cut off, but San Diego, just the team you can't trust. So being that popular, no thanks. And the other one is St. Louis. I realize we can pick on Merrill Kelly, but a chalky St. Louis just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, I would say I could have included St. Louis. I mean, Lord, I tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At the top 8 teams, as stupid as this probably sounds coming through my lips, I feel like I trust Colorado and Washington more than the other teams.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely trust them more than Kansas City, San Diego. Didn't even touch on Kansas City, but
Yeah,
they just keep being chalky when playing at home in these higher total games. And like, I don't know. They did win me 4 figures a week and a half ago or something on one night as a main stack. But yeah, chalky Kansas City up there with chalky San Diego and St. Louis for me is teams that just don't really do it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the ownership's going to be fairly spread out, so it allows you to just play who you want to play and not really worry about ownership for the most part.
yeah.
There are a couple of San Diego
Feel
backs
about
with high
Atlanta.
projected ownership. I mean, Atlanta's fine. I just don't like. Have they really been all that great?
I would say they're no team it's hard to trust.
Right.
I tell you, like, my sneaky team, but I mean, Houston at only 10% ownership at home is
Yeah, it's the home run upside in the matchup. But I obviously said it earlier, like they're going to be fairly right hand heavy, and Dean Turner is really strong against righties. Yeah. Like, so that's the one problem that I have. Like, if he was a reverse splits pitcher going in against Houston, like he'd probably be giving up a bunch of home runs tonight. But I mean, Houston just feels like you jam in Jordan as much as possible and hope that he double dongs off of Kramer. I mean, they'll have Lamont Wade probably in the lineup and maybe one other left-handed bat, but still, 6 righties doesn't make me feel as good as I would like to feel about it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just hit position by position? We're about 38 minutes in. We can get through, give some names off, and get out of here, and everybody can catch this on replay or whatever. Let's see, Drago was in chat, and then Cujo. But not much chat action today, but that's, kind of to be expected. We went 2 hours early for this, so I will let you get started on the position by position and fire some guys out there, even though I know it's kind of your first look at some of these.
Yeah. First look, I'll cheat a little bit with, since I like them so much, Ruiz would be a catcher I'm very interested in, and where the hell is that? Oh, he's probably outfield here. So yeah, Ruiz, first base, probably like always, it's a million people. And Diaz keeps like updating and moving on me. I'll save him for second, I guess. I like TJ Rumsfeld. Second, Cody Clemens. Third, I really like Max Muncy, but also Royce Lewis's third base on FanDuel. Shortstop, even though I'm not as high on Cincinnati, I do really like Ellie. Outfield is always a million people. Hunter Goodman, who is outfield only on FanDuel.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, only outfield. My main man, Mickey Moniak, who I unfortunately can't even use as my home run guy because he's so low. And let's see. Probably, like, I love Mickey, love Hunter. You can play Cody Clemens in the outfield here. James Wood. You know, I like Lars Nootbaar. I mean, outfield so many I could go on and on. You know.
Yeah. First base and outfield is just loaded. So it is kind of a, I don't know, probably go with your stack kind of guy in those positions. But
Yeah.
for me at catcher, like I've said, it's a absolutely atrocious position. So I think I'm probably just going to go with like Alejandro Kirk at 3K. Finished the first half off pretty solidly. Or Gabriel Moreno, I guess. But he's a little more expensive than I'd like to pay for Gabriel Moreno. So it's probably Alejandro Kirk or even Austin Wells at 2,100 and just home run hunt. Just because I think the position's so bad on this slate. First base, I think I have 10 guys listed on my sheet or something. 9 guys. Man, it's like just flip a coin. I mean, the obvious for me is Ben Rice. At sub 4% projected ownership, I just don't understand that at all. Other than, yes, the position is loaded, but man, I'd rather play Ben Rice than Alec Burleson.
Yeah.
Rather play him than Ty France. Even like, I know Ty France is half the price at 3K. I would rather play Nolan Chanuel at 2,800 than Ty France. So Chanuel's like the cheap guy for me. But I think it's Ben Rice or I think it's Michael Busch. If, gun to my head, I had to pick somebody, one of those two. Second base, another position I don't really love tonight. So because of that, man, probably I think Bryce Terang's probably the smartest play. But he's 5,300, and I don't think I want to spend that at second base. So then I'm looking at Ben Williamson taking on a lefty. I think Williamson coming into today, I don't know what he's done in game 1. Finished first half going 6 for his last 8, and he's been pretty solid against left-handed pitching. So he's a cheaper guy that I will gladly use. Third base, not as strong as I've come to expect recently. It's decent, but there isn't any guy that stands out a ton for me. So because of that, I'm just going to Alex Bregman or J-Cam. Obviously that ballpark's just great for right-handed bats at Fenway. Shortstop, weaker position for me. I think I'm going to save money at shortstop as well. I never thought I would ever want to roster this guy, but I did include him in my notes. Jim Jarvis for the Atlanta Braves, making my player pool this evening. He's 5 for his last 11 with 3 extra base hits. One of those was a home run. So in my notes, I referred to him as a creative player because he just sounds like a name that somebody has out there that's just playing video games created. So, but yeah, shortstop feels like a good position for me to save money at, especially in my non-Coors builds where I'm not playing Ellie or whatever. Outfield, the first thing I want to point out is the fact that Yordan Alvarez is projected at, where was he? I saw him before when you were talking. 2.6% ownership. I will take Yordan Alvarez at least 8 times that ownership, please. 20+% ownership on Yordan feels correct for me tonight. Pick a Colorado Rocky left-handed hitting outfielder. You like Moniak? I'll take Jake McCarthy then. Like, I think both guys in pretty decent spots.
Look at the dinger of the day.
Did you take McCarthy?
Yeah.
His dinger odds being twice of what Moniak's are.
Yeah.
Wild.
Like 600.
And then let's see. Do I have any other outfielders that? I mean, Cody Bellinger, I think he's one of those guys that had a quietish first half. So I almost feel like the All-Star Game MVP thing might be something that gets him going a little bit in the second half. And he's somebody that we kind of would expect to pay $5K plus for. Not a huge discount at $4,800, but he's on the Yankees team that to me is being way overlooked based on ownership right now. So I think Cody Bellinger is kind of that guy for me tonight. Save some money. I mean, I don't really think there's that many cheap outfielders for me. Tristan Peters for the White Sox. Problem is like he's kind of that surprise late add to the All-Star game. And as a young guy coming from the Savannah Bananas, like, is he going to be a little bit hungover from the All-Star experience? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, on this slate, there's clearly a few positions where you save money at. Catcher, second base, shortstop. And then there's clearly positions that you spend up at. First base, outfield, third base, really. So that's kind of the way I'm going with my builds this evening.
What I feel like,
you got any home run? What's that?
Yeah, well, I was kind of saying what you're talking about, but I was just going to say, why does 370 feel disrespectful to Jordan Walker?
Maybe they're trying to bait people into taking him. I see DK odds at 393.
Yeah. So my first dinger is Jordan Walker. I was looking at something earlier. I was like, it's tough because I would say take 2 of the 3 maybe of Goodman, Moniak, and McCarthy. Like if you want to, you can take all 3 of them, but I might like try to parlay 2 of them. I actually like Tatis to homer, James Wood, Michael Bush, and like I said, really liked McCarthy, Walker, and Royce Lewis.
Yeah, I think there's some pretty decent spots for home runs tonight. I don't really have any decided on yet, but like I think there are some Twins and Cubs that are a little lower than I would have guessed, so they probably make some sense. There are a couple of Reds that I think are interesting, and the Rockies for sure. But I think I'm going to kind of lean back on the Yankees again. They just don't really have anybody that pops out. Like Bellinger's at plus 430, and I think I'm going to be happy taking Yankee bats against Sasaki. I haven't seen any planned on being BPD'd, but we need to pay attention, especially the Cleveland game. So definitely pay attention to all the updates. Some of us will hit you up in Discord with some @everyone tags if something pops, but definitely pay attention to the Cleveland one.
I would say it's definitely something we're looking at because it could be some other,
But yeah, that's all we have for today. I have to get out the door here in a minute, or 5 minutes, I should say.
I have to actually do my notes.
We will be back on Monday, probably the normal time. If you are members of DFS Army, hit us up in Discord. If you're not, at the bottom of the screen, Best Ball 2026 is our best promo code. Gets you 20% off any NFL or MLB VIP Core 4 sub. The Core 4 does include baseball. If you want to join us for just baseball only, you can use promo code RAZ or Tattoo for 10% off. The link in the description below can be used for either of those promo codes. We are calling it. That's it. Hopefully you guys have some good luck tonight. 14-game slate, big one. If you're using the DS to build, give yourself a few extra minutes because there's a lot more players for it to scroll through. And obviously depending on how many rules, etc., you have in place. So that's what we got. We're back Monday. Best of luck this weekend. Helmets up, and we will see you.
The best coaches in the game, we really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block, helmets casket is top. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, fifth place, eighth place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision, we got too many. Get the check. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, recruit. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper, more naturally gifted.